following clip, we are going to have a discussion about some of the most important developments or discoveries in the field of psychology, specifically the social psychology.
On 1937, George Herbert Mead developed the theory of symbolic interaction theory. George Herbert Mead maintained the belief that people form their concepts of themselves via their relationships with one another. He maintained that the self, which is the element of a person's personality that consists of self-awareness and self-image, is a product of social experience. The term self refers to the part of a person's personality that consists of self-awareness and self-image. On 1957, Leon Festinger developed cognitive dissonance theory. Festinger's theory proposes that inconsistency among beliefs or behaviors causes an uncomfortable psychological tension like cognitive dissonance, which in turn leads people to change one of the inconsistent elements in order to reduce the dissonance or to add consonant elements in order to restore consonance. In 1958, Fritz Heider developed the attribution theory. It is a theory in social psychology that examines how humans interact with one another and make sense of the social world around them. To be more specific, it is concerned with how people interpret the events that occur around them and how those interpretations influence the thinking and conduct of the individuals who interpret them.
In 1958, the social exchange theory was developed by George Humans, a sociologist. This theory focused on face-to-face relationship or interaction, and it's not intended to assess the behavior or change the societal level. This holds that individuals make decisions by consciously or unconsciously balancing the costs and the benefits of a relationship or activity, eventually striving to maximize their reward. Interdependence theory was first introduced by Harold Kelly and John Thibault in 1959. The implications of structure for human psychology are discussed in this theory, along with the structural characteristics that define the relationship. With that, views interpersonal connection as being significant to individual behavior. As a result, the theory provides as much as needed of understanding the nature and the effect of dependency. The theory of reason action was initially proposed by Martin Fishbein and Isaac Eisen in 1967. This theory is one of the attitude theories used to study how attitudes and behavior interacts. In other words, using this idea, every action is preceded by reasonable mental processes.
Theory by Altman and Taylor, year in 1973. So according to the social penetration theory, people go from superficial to intimate conversation as trust develops through repeated positive interaction. Social learning theory by Albert Bandura, year in 1977. So according to the social learning theory, they consider how both environmental and cognitive factors interact to influence human learning and behavior. And Turner, year in 1977. So Tajpal and Turner proposed that there are three mental processes involved in evaluating other as or them. So the first one is the categorization. So categorization, we categorize objects in order to understand them and identify them. So if we can assign people to a category, then that tells us things about those people, and as we saw with the bus driver example, we couldn't function in a normal manner without using these categories or in the context of the bus. So second is social identification. So social identification, we adopt the identity of the group we have, categorize ourselves as belonging to. For example, you have categorized yourselves as a student. The chances are you will adopt the identity of a student and begin to act in the way you believe students act or conform the norms of the group. So the last one is social comparison ones. So social comparison ones, we have categorized ourselves as part of a group and have identified with that group. We then tend to compare that group with other groups.
William Swan Self-Verification Theory, 1981. William Swan is recognized as the creator of the self-verification theory in the year 1981, a social psychological concept that asserts that people want others to view themselves as they see themselves. To the point where they will take steps to ensure that other people confirm their stable self-views. Confirmation bias is a belief that people want other people to view them as they see themselves. Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, Self-Determination Theory, 1985. According to the self-determination theory, all people have three fundamental psychological needs that are essential for their continued growth and development. These needs are autonomy, competence, and relatedness. The state of feeling as though one has a choice and is willing and endorsing one's behavior is referred to as autonomy. The Triangular Theory of Love, 1986. According to the Triangular Theory of Love, the emotion of love may be broken down into three distinct aspects, all of which together can be seen as constituting the 3 points at the intersection of a triangle. The shape of the triangle is not intended to be taken literally and serves more as a metaphor than a precise geometric model. Intimacy, desire, and decision or commitment are the three elements that make up this component. One can see a distinct facet.
David and Harry's positioning theory, developed in 1990, is a social constructionist approach that explains how individuals position themselves and others in social interactions. The theory also emphasizes the importance of power dynamics in positioning, as those with more power have more control over how they are positioned. According to this theory, behavior is determined by three factors: attitude towards the behavior, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. Attitude towards the behavior refers to an individual's positive or negative evaluation of the behavior. Subjective norms refers to an individual's perception of social pressure to perform or not perform the behavior. And perceived behavioral control refers to an individual's perception of their ability to perform the behavior. Joss and Banahi's system justification theory, first proposed in 1994, posits that individuals have a psychological need to justify the existing social systems and structures. The theory suggests that people tend to believe that the current social order is fair and just, even if it results in unequal outcomes for different groups.